If you've ever swallowed your rage just to keep the peace, today's the day we stop doing that. Let's talk about how to turn fury into freedom. Okay, hey, this is Francisca and this is my mid-crisis life, and today is Crisis Confessionals. So, for those of you that didn't tune in to last week or have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm still processing this like whole my mom's an absolute heinous bitch thing. Um, Basically, my mom decided to end a 40-year friendship with one of her friends because that person wanted to include me in something. And yeah, I mean, for me, it kind of just said everything about the relationship. And honestly, if you want to know what that's all about, then watch it. The only reason I bring it up again is because clearly I'm not over it. But mainly because, so at the end of that video, I said, I'm just now free to just move on and let this relationship go because finally, I mean, not finally, like I've known what this relationship is for a long time, but like it's kind of like, how many more times do you need to be shown this? Like, how many more times do you need to be told that this person does not give a fuck about you? That this person actually just is out to harm you, like that this actually, like, this isn't your mum, you know? And I was like, yeah, so finally I'm ready to let go of it. I'm so grateful that like that's where I'm at now, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, and also just talking about like having the freedom to not feel that obligation, to not feel the need to like protect my mum, you know, from the way that she behaves towards me, and be silent and, you know, take it on the chin and carry it on my shoulders, and just, you know, that like just that conditioned thing that I have where I'm like, I have to put her needs before mine. I have to put her needs before mine. If I don't, there'll be repercussions. I'm a bad child. Like all of this like really fucked up like narcissistic parenting that I've experienced, right? And I was like, yeah, finally, I don't need to do that anymore because this is it. The writing's on the wall, the nails in the coffin. And then I came off that kind of like high of like anger, and then just felt like, I don't know that I do feel like that. And I was sitting with it and I was trying to figure out like, what is it? Why is it that I feel like it's not really ready for it to be done. Like I'm not ready for it to be done. And I was thinking like, okay, what is it? Is it because I'm like holding out hope that at some point my mum just might stop acting like a psychopath and just love me? Like just be there. Like, or is it that I just can't really like muster the energy that it takes to be mad? Like I just feel like I've got no more energy to expel on you. Like, and I can't be bothered to give you that energy anymore, to be angry at you anymore, right? Is it that I can't do that? So for one of those two reasons, somewhere in there is the reason why I can't just say, okay, I am actually ready to sever the tie with this person, right? So I've always felt like my whole life, I have felt like there is this life out there waiting for me, that this kind of like humdrum, mediocre, average, mid life that I've been living just isn't mine. And I've just felt like it my whole life. And that's not to say like that this is a bad life. There are some people who are very happy with just like, the 9 to 5 and getting married and having a job and raising kids and going on holiday and whatever else. And like, that's cool, man. That's their sweet spot. But I've never felt like that. I've always felt like there was something bigger, something more out there for me, right? And I've always felt like I'm on the brink of it, like that it's just there, like just not even past the horizon. Like I can see the motherfucking thing, but I'm just always here on this side, right? On the brink of it. And it's like, there's something that I'm supposed to be doing. There's something bigger that I'm made for. There's some kind of impact that I'm supposed to be having, right? Not just for impact's sake, but like, I just feel like there's more purpose to me than what this is right now in my life, my day-to-day life, right? And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about how my mom is just like the fucking antidote to that. She's like the fucking antichrist to me being able to just step into this life, right? And there's a lot of reasons why. Or because, I'll displease her if I do anything, because I've got to be smaller than her, because I can't put my knees in front of her, because, I just will be humiliated and rejected and ostracized and all this shit, right? If I actually just go out there and try and be the biggest and best version of me that I could possibly be, right? And it's just felt like, when I was thinking about it the other day, it just felt like there was like this like dark, demonic tentacle just stuck like right there in my back, just like pulling me constantly back into the darkness, just holding me like right on the brink of the darkness when all the light is there and I can see it. And it's kind of like, no. And this fucking tentacle comes from my mum. It's hers, right? And I look back at like all the changes that I've made, all of these massive, massive evolutionary things in my life that have happened over the past few months, right? They all start with my mum. Like, so I came back, I lived with her. I mean, they didn't start with my mum. They actually started with me and making a decision to get the fuck out of this country and go and grow and do all of the things that I did while I was away, and coming back being a completely different person, and then being put back into this situation for me to go, oh, no, 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 no. This is not my reality anymore, and I refuse to live in it, right? But like, I've done all these big things, right? So I ended my relationship with my mom because I realized, oh, I want to be protected and I want to be cherished. And that's not what this is here. Like, from that, then I decided, oh no, I'm done with all one-sided relationships actually. And then I decided, no, I'm done being quiet about how I feel in these one-sided relationships. And then I decided, you know what, I'm done with being a good girl. Like, I've always been the good girl and being like, okay, if I'm really, really good, will you love me now? Please love me. Like, and I was done with pretending to be good and pretending to do good things just to feel valuable, just so that people say, aren't you a good girl? Aren't you so nice? Aren't you so kind? Aren't you so whatever, whatever, whatever? And you know what? I decided I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. Like, I'm done with all this external fucking validation, right? I'm just done with it, right? And you know, the funny thing is that what I want to do is good stuff because I'm a fucking good person. But there's not this like, oh, I'm doing it because then everybody's gonna like me and everybody's gonna love me and like, I was done with living in lack. Like, no more like, oh God, I'm gonna save hold of this £50 and we'll all starve while I hold on to this £50 in case we starve. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, I was done being stuck in this jail that I'd put myself in with my eldest son. Like, I was done being in that role, like, and I was just done with that past abuse and that version of myself that was embroiled in this abuse and was like enabling these abusers and like apologizing to them and apologizing for being the abuser. I was just fucking done with it, right? And it feels like ending this, like severing fully this cord, this fucking tentacle, this everything with my mum. It just feels like it is the last thing. It is like the last thing that I need to do before I'm finally free to actually live this life that I feel like has been mine all along. It's like that big boss at the end of the game. It's like the penultimate stage, the penultimate scene before the end of the play. Like, it just feels like this is the last thing that I need to do, right? Because the thing is, right, is I cannot unsee what she did. I cannot unsee it. Like, it's just there now. It's the truth. And it's like, it's just there. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than just say, I cannot fucking unsee it, right? But the thing is that over my life, I've kind of trained myself not to be angry anymore, not to be like an angry person. I've trained myself to process things in a much more healthy way. I've trained myself not to be reactive. I've trained myself not to have that like emotional charge, yeah, towards the things that are going on in my life, so that I can just deal with everything with the same level of emotion as everything else, right? And also, just, it's not really anything that I'm not used to. Like, I know who she is. I know what she's done. I know how she behaves. Like, this isn't like fucking shock horror. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that my mum just did like, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right, right? Like, it's not unfamiliar and it's not unusual, right? But there's like this juxtaposition, right? Where intellectually I understand, oh, this is the last thing that I need to do. This is the end of this, right? And where I'm like, okay, like, so I know that this is what I need to go through in order to be done with this and to start my actual life, right? But in my body, I'm not feeling the anger because of how much I've trained myself not to go into that, right? And it's the anger that I need to be able to get out, right? So now I'm kind of just stuck in this like purgatory almost, right? I'm stuck in this like middle ground where I can't really get out of it because I can't cause myself, right, to feel that anger. And I wonder, whether or not that like lack of emotional charge, yeah, is a fear of losing control. So like once I start, I won't be able to stop, or whether it's like an avoidance of feeling pain, right? But I feel like actually maybe it's just like being resigned to just years and years and years of being resigned to just like, this is how it is. It's never been any different. It's never going to be any different. It's never going to change. It's how it's always been. Kind of apathetic about it, you know? But the thing is, right, is that this last bit, it's like I've spent my whole life in one way or another saying goodbye to my mum, right? Letting her go in various different forms. Like, oh, okay, you're not going to hug me. Well, I'll say goodbye to the version of my mum that hugs me and, you know, gives me reassurance. Oh, okay, you're not going to tell me that you love me. Okay, cool. Oh, you're not going to protect me. Oh, you're actually going to mock and humiliate me. Oh, now you're going to be, oh, okay, and you're also going to tell me that I'm worthless and you're going to laugh at me when I try. Like, so there's just like so many versions. And then like, oh, okay, and then you're not going to take any accountability. And oh, when I ask you to take accountability or I forgive you for things, you're going to viscerally attack me. Like, so there's never going to be any resolution. I'm never going to get any closure from you. There's never going to be any acknowledgement. Like, I've let go of so many things, right? But this last thing, it is like the deepest layer, the core of that fucking onion that I have been peeling over my whole life. And because of it, I think, because of that, it's so big, right? It's so small. It's such a tiny last little bit, but it's so big because it is literally like the true death, the final death of my mum to me. Like, and it's such a small action that she took, and it's such a small space in my body. It's like the like 0.000000001% left of my body that has attachment to my mum, you know? It's like that child version of me. Like the adult version of me gets it, right? But the child version of me, and the adult version of me has accepted it as well. But there's a tiny little baby inside of me that was just like, but maybe now. What about now? Can you be my mum now? Do I get a mum now? Can I have you as my mum now? Please, please. Like, it was just holding hope for such a long time. And it's such a tiny little part of me. And it's so interesting that the external and how it's such a small and such a big thing that happened externally is reflecting the internal. It's such a small and such a small but such a big space inside of me, you know, right? But the problem is that because it's so deep, and because it's so infantile, and because it really is probably just my id, that very first part of me that needed that mom, because it's all of those things, it needs a really massive reaction to allow my body to move through it and finally say, like, I fucking matter. Like, I matter. Not because of this, not because of that, not because you love me, not because I did enough, not because I was a good girl. I just fucking matter. And there's a need for me to get angry. I need to feel fucking angry to feel that, right? Because this whole journey that I've been on, this whole journey has been like a journey of self-love. Me learning to love myself despite everybody telling me that I was not lovable, right? And it's interesting because my mum's friend sent me a screenshot of what my mum had said. And the minute that I saw that message, I immediately was just like, you fucking bitch. Like the amount of vile anger, the bile that raised up in my stomach, right? But the thing is like, I don't want to sit around talking about it forever. Like, I don't want to give her all of that energy, right? But here's the thing that I've decided I'm not going to be quiet anymore. I'm not just going to sit down and be like, oh, well, you know, that's just who she is. Silly old so-and-so, just being a normal, narcissistic, psychopathic self. Like, what are you going to do, you know? Just invite her to the party anyway. Like, no, right, I'm not doing that. And I made a decision, actually, that I'm going to stand up and I'm going to tell my fucking family what's going on, something that I never do, right? Because secrecy and deception and compartmentalization of different groups is how people like this operate, right? Because the victim, me, never, ever feels comfortable saying, oh, hi, I'm being abused, I'm being victimized, because there'll be a repercussion, right? So then the perpetrator is free to go out there and be like, oh, you know what, that Fran, she's such a fucking attention seeker. So then when Fran does say something, everyone goes, oh, there's Fran just seeking attention again. Like, and nobody actually listens to the words that are coming out of my mouth, right? But I was just like, you know what? I'm telling everybody. And here's the thing, right? If my family want to ignore me or dismiss me or shame me for doing it, then they can stay in that familiar, dysfunctional, fucked up shit that they've got going on. Like, I don't really care, right? Because in my family, as a wider unit, there's 7 brothers and sisters, multiple cousins, and then baby cousins, and then baby cousins as well, right? Now, in the family as a whole, there is a tendency to fawn the abuser. Like, oh, what do you need? Are you okay? Like, how can we not get you to abuse us? Like, and then to vilify the victim, particularly when the victim speaks out or pushes back or says it's not okay or brings it to their attention, right? Like, oh, that is completely inappropriate for you to say something like that, for you to send that message to everybody, telling them the truth about your mum. What are you doing? It's unacceptable, right? And there's like just this culture of secrecy and oppression. And I was thinking a lot about how people were likely to react to this like family-wide message that I sent out, where I was just very factual, like, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is how I feel, this is what I want, I just want to be part of the family. Please do not ostracize me, because I know some of you are already doing it, right? And I was thinking about it, right? And I know that most of them will just feel really uncomfortable and uneasy at my like forthrightness, right? And they'll probably think me very uncouth for like spilling the beans, and in turn, through spilling the beans, making them then feel uncomfortable. And it got me to think about, yeah, this idea that the family are just conditioned to fawn the abuser and vilify the victim if they choose to speak out or fight back. And that is a real epitome of an abusive household, of a domestically abusive household, right? But I feel like now, at the very least, they can't claim ignorance. They can't claim ignorance to my plight. They can't pretend that they didn't invite me to things because they just didn't really know the extent of what was going on. They just didn't want it to be awkward or whatever, right? Now they're going to have to really squarely wrestle with their own conscience, with their own consciousness of their own conscience and the situation that I'm in terms of how they choose to now proceed and be accountable for their own choices in this moment in time. And you know what? As I sent these messages out and I was thinking about these things, I remembered a memory came back to me. I remembered when I was 12 and my mum sold my house from underneath me and I didn't see it for nearly a year. The first place I went back to was my grandfather's house and my whole family were there. Do you know that when my mum just disappeared for that year and sold our house, she got rid of and threw away and gave away most or all of my possessions? All of my toys, all of my teddies, all of my books, my clothes. She got rid of them. And do you know what her family did? Oh, and actually, do you know what? Ironically, she got rid of them to a girl who'd called both me and my brother wogs and niggers on a holiday that we went on with her crazy ass boyfriend and his crazy ass friend, and they were his crazy ass friend's crazy ass fucking niece and nephew. That's who she gave my shit to. And do you know what my family did? Nothing. None of the adults did anything. In fact, what they did is they helped her store and discard of my things. And I think this is the thing, right? Because there's this culture, I think the reason why I don't and haven't bothered to be angry about this stuff is because I've been angry and there is nowhere to go with it. There's nowhere to go with it. It's never changed anything. It's never made any difference. It's not brought me any peace or vindication. So what's the point? What's the point? What's the point to waste the energy on my mum? And what is the point to be angry to anybody else? Because nothing ever fucking changes anyway. Like, what's the point? Here's the point. Here's the point in this moment in time. I am not at this moment in time being angry for any other reason but myself. I'm angry because of the unjust way that I've been treated. I'm angry because I never ever get to get a mum in my life. I'm angry because I've got to give her up. I'm angry because I'm being ostracized from my family. I'm angry because nobody ever fucking does anything. I'm angry because I've never fucking been protected my whole fucking life. And I've had to do it all for myself. I've had to find it all in myself. I've had to go outside and find people who possibly could be my family and try people out and lose people and be broken by people and be vulnerable and be broken all over again. I'm angry about those things. I'm angry because I fucking matter and nobody in my family treats me like I do, particularly the woman who fucking gave birth to me, right? And that's the thing. I'm not giving my energy to any of them. I'm giving my energy to me. This is my growth. This is my evolution. This is my freedom. that's going to come out of this anger. So the question that I have, right, is how do I do that without just losing it? And I think the thing is that I've grown enough and I've done enough work on myself to know that I can engineer periods of anger without having to lose control completely. It's easy. I do it all the time. Like, I choose all the time where to place my energy. I choose where to give my energy attention, when to give it attention. And I know that I can make a decision to just look at it and go through it. And then when it's time, refocus and just look at something else and get on with that, get on with my work or get on with whatever it is that I need to do, right? And then look back again when I have the time. And I think this week, that's something that I want to focus on. How we can, compartmentalize, I think is too harsh a word, right? But how we can move fluidly through one emotional state or where we give our energy to another so that we can more healthily move through difficult experiences, difficult emotions without it disrupting the entirety of our lives. And I think that's what I want to look for. That's what I want to look at this week. So come back from Monday Mindset, because I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the psychology behind that. And then on Thursday in Chrysalis Tools, we're going to do a practice that's going to help us to do exactly that, right? So we can keep our sanity while going insane. All right, for now, that's it. Something that I'm grateful for off the back of all of that. You know what? I think I'm grateful for all emotional states, no matter what they are. Some are deemed to be better than others. Some we like more than others. Oh, well, right? But all of them create the vast array of life. And without them, we wouldn't know what we were feeling and everything would just feel the same and it would be grey. So yeah, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for this because this will be the bar by which I then measure my happiness and my freedom and all the rest of it, right? Yeah. Okay. For now, that's it.
Anger isn't the enemy. It's the compass pointing back to what matters. Tell me, what's one thing you've spent your life suppressing just to stay safe? Let's start naming it together.